Around 5 out of 6 children, that's 83%, will have at least one ear infection by their third birthday. And a recent review observes that although many cases resolve without antibiotics, antibiotics continue to be prescribed in the large majority of these cases. So I want to talk to you about the three-legged stool no one talks about. Your child's immune system, nervous system, and hormonal system aren't three separate systems working independently. They function as one integrated unit, that what researchers call the neuroendocrine immune supersystem. Think of it like a three-legged stool. If one leg becomes wobbly, the entire thing tips over. And you can't stabilize it by only focusing on the legs that look fine. The nervous system serves as the master controller, the air traffic controller coordinating all the other systems. It regulates immune responses, determines whether inflammation turns on or off, and decides if your child mounts an appropriate defense or an excessive one. When the nervous system is stuck in stress mode, immune function becomes chaotic. Some kids become immune suppressed and catch everything, while others become hyperreactive with severe allergies. Many swing between both extremes. This explains why your child stays sick while other kids in the same environment stay healthy. The difference isn't immune system strength, it's whether their nervous system can properly regulate their immune system. So the vagus nerve, the immune system's off switch. There's one nerve that controls most of your child's immune regulation, and most parents have never heard of it. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your child's body, running from the brainstem down through the neck, past the heart and lungs, all the way to the digestive system, where 70 to 80% of the immune system lives. This nerve acts as your child's inflammation off switch. When it's working properly, it detects inflammation, evaluates the threat, releases common signals, then turns the immune system response off once the job is done. And your child recovers and returns to baseline health. But when the vagus nerve isn't functioning properly, kids get stuck. The fire alarm keeps blaring even after the fire is out. Chronic inflammation becomes their baseline instead of the exception. I want you to think of it like a car with two pedals. The sympathetic nervous system is the gas pedal. It activates fight or flight and ramps up inflammation. And the parasympathetic nervous system, controlled by the vagus nerve, is the brake pedal. It calms everything down and allows recovery. Many kids today are stuck with the gas pedals pressed to the floor and a brake pedal that barely works. And these are the kids who can't kick the sick. Now, where this all starts? Birth trauma. And here's what most parents don't realize. The vagus nerve exits the skull through the upper neck, right where birth trauma tends to occur. During birth, especially like interventions like C-sections, forceps, vacuum extraction, or even Pitocin induction, the delicate upper cervical spine experiences forces it wasn't designed to handle. This physical trauma creates what we call subluxation, a combination of misalignment and neurological interference in the upper cervical spine. It disrupts the vagus nerve ability to communicate properly between the brain and body. Your baby's nervous system gets stuck in survival mode before they're even had a chance to thrive. Now, the gas pedal locks down, the brake pedal stops working, and the immune system loses its master control. Now, watch what happens next. Colic, that's dismissed as normal, reflux cared for with medication, ear infections starting around 6 months, and chronic constipation from the start. These aren't random challenges. They're all vagus nerve dysfunction patterns pointing back to that original birth trauma. Now, the perfect storm and why it gets worse. Now, it's not just one thing, it's the accumulation. And we call this the perfect storm. Prenatal stress affecting the developing nervous system. Birth trauma creating subluxation, and then the early childhood cascade of antibiotics, disrupting the gut microbiome, environmental toxins, and sleep deprivation from nervous system dysfunction. And here's the vicious cycle parents live in. A nervous system stuck in fight or flight leads to poor gut function, which weakens immunity, which causes frequent infections, which require antibiotics, which further damage gut function, which worsens immunity. And round it goes. Kids don't grow out of it, they become it. Think about it. The colic at 2 months becomes constipation at 6 months, which becomes chronic ear infections by 12 months, which becomes immune dysregulation by age 3. The nervous system dysfunction doesn't change. Medicine just gives it different labels, as the same problem manifests differently at each stage. This is why supplements and diet changes plateau. You're trying to strengthen the immune system while the control center is offline. Now, your child is designed to heal when interference is removed, and this isn't about boosting immunity with more supplements. It's about restoring the nervous system's ability to regulate immunity naturally. So, at Vanella Chiropractic, we use insight scanning technology to measure exactly where the nervous system dysfunction lies. And then we use specific gentle adjustments to remove that interference in the upper cervical spine, helping restore the vagus nerve ability to function as your child's immune system off switch. And sometimes our little ones just get stuck in stress mode, and when we ease that nervous system tension, everything can shift. Click the link in our bio, send us a DM, or call Vanella Chiropractic to schedule a child's neurological evaluation. Your child deserves more than they'll grow out of it. They deserve answers.